A movie begins in a desert. There, we see a man named Wyndham, who was a professional photographer. In fact, he had come to the desert to capture good photographs of a solar eclipse. By evening, he finishes clicking all the photos and prepares to leave. But after walking a little distance, he notices a crying child. Wyndham asks him why he is crying. The boy replies, "I am lost here." Hearing this, Wyndham tells the boy to come along with him, but the child walks in another direction, saying, "My parents are that way." Not wanting to, but left with no choice, Wyndham follows the boy. While trying to stop him, he says, "There's no one in that direction." But the boy doesn't stop, following him deeper into the desert. The path there was quite dry, barren, and lifeless. But apart from following that boy, he had no other option. Wyndham tries to forcibly stop the child. At that moment, the boy gives him a strange smile and runs away. Wyndham realizes that the boy had deliberately lured him here to trap him. So he decides to go back. But he doesn't know the way out anymore. He gets lost wandering, and as night falls, he searches for shelter to protect himself from the cold wind. A little ahead, he spots a house with a woman inside. The house was built slightly downhill, and there was a staircase leading down. Since Wyndham had nowhere else to stay, he climbs down the stairs and enters the house. Inside, he sees the woman. Her name was Alina. But Alina seemed strange. Even after seeing Wyndham, she didn't react or ask him anything. So Wyndham introduces himself, saying that he got lost and asks if he can stay the night. Even after hearing this, Alina doesn't reply. After a while, she simply tells him to eat. Wyndham finds this odd, but still sits at the table. He doesn't eat the food. Later, Alina shows him a room to sleep in. Before that, Wyndham sees Alina changing her clothes. The next morning, Wyndham goes back to the staircase, but this time, it is gone. Now, the place where he stands is surrounded by tall cliffs from all sides. Without the stairs, escaping was impossible. Worried, he goes back to Alina and asks her, "Where is the staircase that was here yesterday?" Alina replies, "They must have removed it after you came." Hearing this, he asks, "Who are they?" But Alina doesn't answer and continues with her work. Wyndham desperately wants to escape, so he uses a climbing hammer to scale the cliff. But midway, exhausted, he stops to rest. Just then, he hears children's voices from above. He asked for help from the children's. Suddenly, a goat's severed head falls from the top. Startled, Wyndham loses his grip, slips, and falls unconscious. At night, when he regains consciousness, he finds that the climbing hammer has pierced into his leg. He screams in pain. Hearing his cries, Alina comes, pulls out the hammer, and takes him inside. The next morning, Wyndham again asks Alina who is stopping them from leaving, but once again, she doesn't answer. Later, Wyndham spots a boy standing on top of the cliff. He shouts for help, asking the boy to bring a rope. The boy agrees and tells him to wait. He was waiting for the child to come, hoping to get out from here soon. After a while, the boy returns with a rope and throws it down, telling Wyndham to climb up. Wyndham ties the rope around his waist and starts climbing. Wyndham stares at the window like a final goodbye to Alina. Alina silently watches this from the window. Midway, Wyndham feels hopeful that he will finally escape from this trap, but this was only an illusion. As he climbs halfway, some children appear at the top. One of them urinates on him, while the others start shaking the rope violently. Windham screams for Alina's help. Alina comes and tells the children to stop. But before anything can be done, Windham's head smashes against a rock. He was in a lot of pain and was gasping for breath, and he falls unconscious again. By now, Windham begins to believe he will never escape. He thinks that maybe the children trapped Alina here in the same way. She simply made this place her home. But the strange thing was that the children didn't want to kill Windham or Alina. In fact, every day they gave them food, just never letting them leave. The next day, Windham tries to grow vegetables in the barren land so they won't run out of food. While doing this, a boy named Lepus appears on the cliff and asks what he is doing. Windham explains about growing vegetables. Lepus asks him to teach him. Windham tries to befriend him, saying, "I'll teach you whenever you want." Windham thought he could get out of here from his help. In return, Lepus throws him a packet of chewing gum and leaves. While digging, Windham finds a ring and a car key in the soil. From this, he realizes that many people had been trapped here before him. That night, Windham drinks heavily. Alina tries to stop him, but he scolds her. In response, Alina removes all her clothes. Windham loses control, and the two become intimate. The next day, Lepus returns and asks Windham to teach him again. Windham says, "I can't teach you from this far. If you help me escape, I'll teach you anything you want." Scared, Lepus replies, "I can't get you out while they are around, but when they're not here, I'll try to help you escape." Lopez wanted to learn new things, but scared how he will help him to get out of here. Alina overhears this conversation. Meanwhile, another child arrives, overhears them, and angrily drags Lepus away. That night, during dinner, Alina tells Windham that she is pregnant. Windham gets furious, saying, "This is your responsibility. You tempted me." Alina replies, "This is our fault, not just mine." Windham falls silent. The next morning, Windham wakes up to the sound of Alina crying. He goes outside and sees, and he is surprised to see that Lepus's dead body is hanging in the air, which he had killed because he wanted to help Windham. And here Alina, "My son," was screaming and crying, which tells us that Lepus was Alina's son. But how will we find out later? After that, Alina says to Windham in anger that "You are a killer. My son was killed because of you." After saying that, she hits him on the head with a stick and makes him unconscious, and she locks him in a cage for 9 months, because until Alina gives birth to her son, she will have to stay in that cage. After that, while staying in the cage, Windham's condition becomes like animals. Although Alina gives him food, but it doesn't mean much to her, while he was the father of her son. Then one day, on the top of Windham's rock, he sees a girl standing on the top of the rock. That's why he tries to ask her for help. But then, those children come and kill that girl as well. After that, when Alina comes to Windham with food, then Windham says to her, "Why are you doing this to me? I am the father of your child. Either you set me free or kill me." On which Alina says that "You are just one way to fulfill our purpose." By saying this, she leaves. Then in the next morning, she begins to have a liver pain in her stomach. She frees Windham and asks him for help. Then after that, Alina has a daughter. And after seeing that lovely daughter, Windham thinks that now he will live here. But then those children come from behind and cut Windham's throat, and he dies. Then those children tell Alina that, "Mom, what you said, we have done it." All the children belong to Alina, And before Wyndham, Alina had made a physical